Well, to speak on this development further, legal expert Liberos Oshoma joins me on the news. Thank you for your time, sir. Now, how legal is it for just 4 speakers to sit down, members of the House rather, to sit down and decide that one of them will serve as the factional speaker of the entire River State House of Assembly?
Yeah, I think it's a mockery of democracy. I really don't know how, 4 people can just sit down in a house of 31 members. 4 people just sit down and say they have elected one person as a speaker. I don't think, even though Section 101 of the Constitution clearly states that once you cross carpets, you lose your seat, provided you can show that there is crisis in your party, or that the cross carpet is as a result of a merger between 2 parties. But I think they have passed that stage because when this crisis first started, I think Mr. President also intervened. After the intervention of Mr. President, all parties were asked to sheathe their sword and then return to status quo. And that led to Edison Ehige resigning to become the chief of staff. And then this current speaker, who has been the speaker anyway, back to his seat. And it is also clear that the person that can declare the seats of any member who cross-carpet vacant is the speaker. And so in the event that the speaker is one of those who cross-carpeted and has not declared any seat vacant, you can no longer be talking about vacancy in the seat, because these 4 members are still relying on their Hide's, sitting that had, or house that had been overtaken by events. So I think this is a mockery, a mockery of democracy, a mockery of constitutional law, a mockery of legislative at the State House of Assembly. I don't think, this is what we bargain for when we embrace democracy. But all said, I also think that the warring parties, the elders in the state, should call the warring parties to order, because it is the ordinary people that will suffer. In the absence of a duly constituted State House of Assembly, everything done would be a nullity. And, it is the ordinary people that will suffer. So the elders of the state across party line, and then the elders in the party, the PDP and the APC, should call all warring parties to order to sheathe their sword. And Wike and his people also can wait for a second term for Fubara to, in the event that, they can wait for a second term for Fubara and deny him a second term through the ballot, instead of all these attempts at trying to turn, constitutional democracy on its head. And Fubara and his people also should also, even though he has the support of his, ethnic group, they also should tread softly so as not to, make a mockery of our democracy. And it is not healthy at all, because, mind you, he's in a political party different from the president's political party, and he's a godfather, a straight godfather, is serving in the president's camp. And if there is a breakdown of rule and order, and a state of emergency is declared by the National Assembly in that state, people are certainly going to blame Mr. President for that. So I think it's on that note that the elders of the state should come together and see how they can intervene at the stage.
All right, now briefly, what impact do you think this latest development will have on the political scene in Rivers State in terms of governance, stability, and development initiatives?
What it basically means is that nothing will be happening in that state. As we speak, we're still talking about a budget that was passed by 5 members. It's an aberration. It is a mockery of budgetary in Nigeria. We're still talking about that budget. And today, now, you have another travesty of justice. You have 4 members sitting down somewhere and proclaiming one amongst them as member. And the press are giving vent to it by even addressing him as a factional speaker. So what that means is that, the governor is consistently going to be looking, behind his back. Activities of governance will take a second seat. The lawmakers will certainly be looking at whether anything they are doing, it's in line with constitutionality or not. So all of this will affect governance in the state. That's why I think that all warring parties, no matter the grievance, no matter what's at stake, for the benefit and for the good governance of the ordinary people of Rivers State, it will be better for them to, resolve their differences and wait for the next election instead of all of these shenanigans and shameful or outrageous display of irresponsibility that we see, that is going on among both parties. But quickly, I must say this. If you remember, during Amechi's time, you had Evans BP, he led a five-member of the House and attempted to impeach the president. Those people who were criticizing Evans BP then are the ones supporting these shenanigans going on by this, what you call factional speaker today. And those that criticized, that supported him then are the ones that are criticizing today. So it's on the flip side. You see Nigeria is a case of absurdity. When it favors anybody, that's when you hear people criticize. And when it doesn't favor them, they criticize. When it favors them, they support it. But if we have to talk about the implication for Rivers people, and then it's a sad one for them. It's a sad day for democracy in Rivers State. And the man sitting in Abuja also should be called to order. And his supporters, all those people he claimed he bought funds for, should, for the benefits of good governance, allow governments to flow freely in Rivers State.
Our legal expert, Oshoma, thank you very much for doing justice to this topic.